I will attack you if you do that. You know what I mean? It just causes a lot of bull. I just hate that. I get it. You want your clicks or whatever it is you guys want to get, your little moment that you can post, but
Dana White just dropped a truth bomb that's got the internet buzzing. He called out the media's hypocrisy right to their faces, and they're scrambling to recover. Imagine a room full of so-called journalists thinking they've got Dana White cornered, but then bam, he turns the tables and exposes their double standards for everyone to see. It's a masterclass in standing up to cancel culture. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Picture this, a room packed with reporters, all thinking they've got Dana White cornered. But these guys don't know who they're messing with. Dana's not your typical suit and tie exec. He built the UFC from nothing, and he's not about to let some journalist push him around.
This guy, when I say this guy, I'm talking about President Trump, is such a good friend and such a loyal, amazing guy, man. He's a great guy. I could give it.
Right.
I don't give it.
The liberals probably watch.
If you don't like me,
right,
because I'm friends with this guy, that's your problem, not mine.
Remember when that reporter tried to catch him out about Trump? Dana shut that down real quick. He didn't care if he lost viewers. Loyalty matters more to him than playing nice with the media. That's just who Dana is. But it's not just about Trump. Dana's got a problem with how the media twists everything. They're always fishing for controversy, trying to stir up drama where there isn't any. It's like they can't help themselves. But Dana, he calls it like he sees it. No filter, no PR spin, just raw, honest truth.
I was gonna say, so you don't have any concern about the way the build up, the tension between those two?
I could care less. This is the fight business. Israel Adesanya can say whatever he wants to say. Who gives?
I know you say, hey, this is the fight business. People say nasty things, right? But the tension between those two and kind of the racial undertones and all those things, how do you...
What were the racial undertones? Who did? Who dropped the racial?
Israel was saying over and over, yeah.
He's black.
50 N-bombs.
Okay, he's black. Who gives?
Take that time. A reporter tried to make a big deal out of some trash talk between fighters. Dana wasn't having it. This is the fight business, he said. End of story. He didn't try to sugarcoat it or make excuses. That's what people love about Dana. He's real in a world of fake, and that drives the media crazy, and they keep trying to trip him up, asking loaded questions and trying to catch him in a gotcha moment. But Dana's always one step ahead. It's like he's playing chess while they're playing checkers. He sees right through their games and calls them out on it. And you know what? People respect that. Even if they don't agree with everything Dana says, they appreciate his honesty. He's not afraid to speak his mind, even when it's not the popular opinion. In a world where everyone's trying to be politically correct, Dana's refreshing honesty stands out. So next time you see Dana in a press conference, remember, he's not just answering questions. He's showing the world that you don't have to play by the media's rules to be successful. You can be yourself, speak your mind, and still come out on top. That's the Dana White way, and it's changing the game. Speaking your mind is one thing, but what happens when the entire internet comes for you? Dana's got a message for cancel culture, and it's not what you'd expect from a guy running a billion-dollar company. Let's talk about something that really gets Dana White fired up, cancel culture. This isn't just some minor annoyance for him. No, Dana's on a full-blown mission to fight it. He's seen what happens when people give in to the mob. They apologize, they backtrack, and then what? The mob just comes at them even harder. It's like blood in the water for these people.
Stood their ground and continued to do their art, in which we need badly right now in this crazy world we live in. Lunatics trying to cancel them.
Yep.
Going after Chappelle, going after Rogan, going after all these different comedians who stood strong.
Dana's been watching closely as comedians like Dave Chappelle and Joe Rogan have been attacked. But here's the thing that caught Dana's attention. They didn't back down. And you better believe Dana took notes. He saw how standing your ground can work. Remember when Joe Rogan got in hot water for stuff he said years ago? Dana didn't throw his buddy under the bus. No way. He stood by him and called out the hypocrisy. Dana's not afraid to say what everyone's thinking. Once you give the woke mob an inch, they'll go for the mile. He's not about to let that happen on his watch. But this isn't just about defending his friends. Dana's fighting for something bigger, free speech. In the UFC, Dana lets his fighters say what they want and believe what they want. Some reporter tried to suggest Dana gives his fighters a leash. Man, did that set him off.
Gonna control what people say? Gonna tell people what to believe? Gonna tell people? I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes. I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
I'm like...
Free speech.
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash.
Free speech, brother, he said. There are no leashes in the UFC. This is why Dana's different from your typical exec. Most of them are scared of their own shadow, always trying to play it safe. Not Dana. He's not afraid to ruffle some feathers. He believes that standing up to cancel culture is necessary if we want a world where real opinions can be expressed without fear. And you know what? People respect that. Even if they don't agree with everything Dana says, they respect that he stands his ground. In a world where everyone's trying to play it safe, Dana's out there showing that you can speak your mind and still come out on top. That's the kind of leadership that's changing the game, one brutal truth at a time. So Dana White's got this secret weapon, and it's driving the media absolutely crazy. What is it? He just doesn't give a damn what people think. Sounds simple, right? But in today's world, it's like a superpower. Think about all those big shot executives out there. They're always worried about their image, right? They've got these massive PR teams always trying to make sure they don't offend anyone. It's like they're walking on eggshells 24/7. But Dana, he's not playing that game. Here's the kicker. Dana's worth over 500 million bucks. You'd think with all that cash, he'd start playing it safe, but nope. If anything, he's gotten even more outspoken. He's still the same guy he was when he started. No filter, no BS, just Dana being Dana. And get this, Dana's not just running the UFC, he's out there creating entire new sports. Like, did you hear about his slap fighting deal? It's supposedly bigger than the initial UFC deal with Spike TV after the first season of The Ultimate Fighter. That's huge. While everyone else is worried about saying the wrong thing, Dana's too busy succeeding to care about hurt feelings. You know what's really wild? The more the media tries to paint Dana as the bad guy, the more people love him. It's like every time they try to take him down, his fans just rally around him even harder. Why? Because we're all sick of fake. We're tired of people saying one thing and meaning another. With Dana, what you see is what you get. That's the power of not giving a damn. It's not about being a jerk. It's about being real, being true to yourself. And in a world where everyone's trying to be politically correct, that's like a breath of fresh air. People respect it, even if they don't always agree with what Dana's saying. So next time you see Dana White in the news, remember, he's not just some rich guy running his mouth. He's showing us all that you can be successful without compromising who you are. And in today's world, that's pretty damn refreshing. Remember when Netflix stood by Dave Chappelle? That wasn't just a win for comedy, it was a game changer, and Dana White knew it. He saw a big company finally growing a backbone and not caving to the mob. It's like Dana's been saying all along, you can't let these woke crybabies push you around. But Dana's not just cheering from the sidelines. He's right in the thick of it, calling out BS wherever he sees it.
In sport, where biological males are beginning to dominate biological females in women's sport because they identify as women. What do you think of that?
You know, I don't ever want to see a day where somebody who is a biological male is competing against my daughter. I think you know exactly what I think of that. I think that, you know, let me put it to you this way. I have a daughter, okay?
Take the whole debate about biological males in women's sports. Dana's not tiptoeing around it like some politicians. He's straight up saying what most people are thinking. It's not fair, and it's not right. And you know what? People are starting to catch on. They're realizing you don't have to play by this stupid woke rule book to be successful. Look at Elon Musk. The guy's worth more than some countries, and he's on Twitter roasting politicians like it's a comedy roast. That's the Dana White effect in action, folks. It's not just Musk either. More and more public figures are telling cancel culture to take a hike. They're not falling over themselves to apologize for every little thing anymore. Why? Because Dana's proving there's an audience out there hungry for real talk. People are sick of walking on eggshells, always worried about offending someone. They want the real deal, not some PR-approved BS. That's the legacy Dana's building. He's not just changing how the UFC operates, he's changing the whole damn game. He's showing that you can be successful, wildly successful, without selling out your principles. You can speak your mind, stand your ground, and still come out on top. And it's catching on. More people are realizing that just because someone's offended, it doesn't mean they're right. Offense is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality, for crying out loud, so you can't second guess yourself all the time. If you try to please everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one. That's what Dana gets. He's not trying to be everyone's best friend. He's just being real, and people respect that. In a world full of fake smiles and empty apologies, Dana White is a breath of fresh air. And whether the woke mob likes it or not, more people are starting to follow his lead. The tide is turning, folks. And Dana White, he's the one making waves. Look, Dana White isn't going anywhere. And honestly, that's probably exactly what we need right now. In a world where everyone's walking on eggshells, scared to say what they really think, Dana's out there showing there's another way you can be successful, really successful, and still be true to yourself. No BS, no fake apologies, just raw honesty. Next time you see Dana at a press conference, remember what you're really looking at. That's not just some guy in a suit talking about fights. That's a dude who's changing the whole game, one brutal truth at a time. He's proving that you don't have to play by the rules of cancel culture to make it big. And in today's world, where everyone's so damn careful all the time, that's pretty refreshing.